Now I'm going to show you how we make our muffins. We have 3 different varieties of muffin mix. One is a honey bran, one is a lemon and poppy seed, and the third one is the original. They can be baked as is, or we can add in things like raisin with the bran, frozen blueberries into the lemon, and often it's nice to do our raw cranberry orange relish in the original mix. But the method for making it is pretty straightforward. Now the proper mise en place is, one, when you're baking, always get your oven preheated. Then you prepare your pan. So in this particular case, I'm going to be making muffins in the muffin tins. And at this point, because I'm going to be showing you muffins, the Danish, and our tea loaves, I'm only going to make 8 muffins. So taking the mix, and I just tend to eyeball this. There are instructions on the back, but I find it's almost easier to do it by trial and error. You can always add more mix and more water to get the right consistency. Some of the mixes come with lumps in it, and you can either stir it with a whisk to break up the majority of the lumps, or you can put the muffin mix into one of these and press it through to remove any lumps. Then it's a case of just adding water. You want to have the consistency of a thick oatmeal. Any add-ins, and in this case I'm going to be adding in raisins, I'm going to add at the end. And it looks like I'm going to need a bit more batter. And you want to mix it so that there are no lumps and there's no dry ingredient left. This is a nice consistency, but if you want, it can be a little thinner as well. Try and get as much off as possible. And then I'm going to add in the raisins. And again, I'm going to just eyeball the quantity. Make sure you don't have any clumps. Good. And then I'm just going to fold those in so that they're evenly distributed. And it looks like we're good to go. I'm just going to scrape the bowl. And then using the large blue-handled ice cream scoop, you're going to take a full scoop and just put them in. We're a little short, so I will just remedy that. And if it's too loose like this, you just add a little bit more of the mixture. This mixture is a little bit looser than the other, but you'll see that when it comes out of the oven, they will all be pretty much the same. One of the other breakfast items that we offer is a brand of mini Danish. The brand is Trolstad, and it comes in a blue and brown box, usually kept in the chest freezer downstairs. In each box you have an assortment of 5 different types. I advise you to make a selection of all of the 5 types so that every morning we can offer the full selection. These get baked on a baking sheet. Today I'm going to bake it on a half baking sheet, so I'm only going to use half a piece of parchment. And the best way to do that is a nice crease, and then you can either tear it or you can take a knife and just cut down. Save this for another time and just use the half sheet on the baking sheet. You're going to want to place these a few inches apart, and it's really important that the box of Danish, once you've removed what you need, it has to go back into the freezer immediately, because these thaw within a matter of minutes, and when they thaw they stick together and we can't pull them out, and it means that the product is wasted. So I've left enough rising space between these, and these are now ready to go into the oven. So the convection oven is preheated, and I find if you put it to about 380 degrees, it will cook both the puff pastry, which needs a hot oven to cook, as well as the muffins. Please note that I am putting it into the middle of the oven, and that way the air can circulate all the way around. Door shut, timer set. And I'm going to set it for about 6 minutes and then rotate the pans. For muffins, I like to put them in a bowl or a basket, and I usually like to take one of our cloth napkins and just press it in. Make sure that you have the hem side, you don't want that raw edge showing, and then I will just proceed to fill the bowl with muffins. Another item that is served for the continental breakfast is what is referred to as a quick loaf or a tea loaf. This is a pumpkin one made in house, and what you will do is you will start by slicing off the very end. Then you do about 3/4 inch slices all the way down the loaf, keeping it as consistent as possible. to make a slice down the middle, and one of these pieces is what is considered a portion. I'm now going to plate this, and what I like to do is sort of alternate. And then a few strawberries. And notice that I am putting the strawberries cut side up so that it doesn't make the bread soggy. So the Danish, this is the color that I like, a nice medium to dark golden brown. Notice that they've puffed up. They're a little puffier when they come out of the oven, and as they cool, they begin to settle down. Now the box of Danish come with two types of icing. One, a caramel glaze, and a more traditional white sugar icing. I like to apply the white icing on the cinnamon roll. I like to do the glaze on the apple and walnut and the plain apple-filled Danish. Or you could also do the white glaze on these. Lemon ones I like to leave often just as is. And on these you can do a sprinkling of icing sugar. So if you're doing a sprinkling, just put the icing sugar there and then just gently tap. For applying the icing sugar, you snip a small opening at the bottom, and you can either crisscross it or follow the spirals. If you ice the Danish while they're still warm, the icing will melt and it will cover a multitude of mistakes. So I'm going to keep going, and on this I'm going to do a bit of a crisscross, and for these I'm just going to do a simple, and they are done. Now we keep these because we can reuse them for future batches, but what I like to do is to store them neatly so that they don't leak out. Just squeeze out a bit from the tip, fold it over, and then wrap that in saran wrap.